I think everything is in order. Wow, it's a boy. Hello, boy.
If I miss anyone logging in or out, I do not.
Well, I miss someone logging in, but you don't.
Say goodbye to them after they log in.
Any more shiny luck, lad?
Now, where is she?
Dun, dun, dun.
I think she might be out on patrol. You could wait, I suppose, but why not go and surprise her?
She usually takes a look at things from the watchtower first,
So you might be able to catch her there.
it's not far. Head out the south side and you'll see it soon.
I'll stay behind in case she comes back while you're gone.
South. Got another hoot hoot. Oh, whoa, that live, living shiny is finished then. I'm realizing what we need to do is not just run, like, random, what are they called? Random terror raids with other people, but we need to just run whichever ones we have in our area, because that's where we've been getting them. So we might as well just run our, like, 4 or 5 stars, because if we can do it with NPCs, we can do it together.
And just get a bunch more
Stuff. What's it called? Herba Mysticas.
Others nowhere to be seen, but you see a you spot fresh footprints on the ground, and they look to be about the right size.
Yeah.
Well, footprints lead off northwest.
Because, like, what? Through the 2 sets of Herba Mysticas we've used so far, we've found at least 1 shiny each, right? So, well, we've used 2 Herba Mysticas and found 1 shiny per thing. So, if we can just, you know, get those numbers up a little bit more, then we should be fine.
Footprints continue on to the northwest.
Gilman, please don't hurt me.
Footprints curve around to the west. Ooh.
Do 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 do. This seems like an issue.
There are more tracks here, but they end in a mess of disturbed sand.
Who are you, and why are you chasing me?
Oh.
Get back here! Is that... It can't be.
Take your landing, girl.
Ha!
Impressive. Just be an ass. You almost lost it, dumbass.
Just a lesser sin eater. Nothing to write home about. I knew you'd turn up sooner or later, but I had been hoping for sooner.
No, I missed a year's worth of you guys being here. Well, you two. The others, 3 and 5.
How are you?
Confused, dazed, and afraid at times.
We've fought them to a standstill, then. The Exarch did say that the Empire seemed to have drawn back when he last looked in on the source. But without knowing for sure how fast time was passing there, I couldn't help worrying that a lot might have happened since then. I'm heartily relieved to hear that it hasn't, just as Alphino must have been. As you can imagine, both he and Eorzea were desperate to hear the news from home when I arrived. I haven't actually seen Thancred and Y'shtola yet, but they will have heard all the latest developments from the Exarch by now, or should have at least.
Hopefully.
When I think of how frantic Tataru and the others must be, I want nothing more than to rush back and reassure them. But we still haven't found a way to reverse the summoning. And even if we had, we couldn't just ignore Eorzea's vision.
But could he? No, we couldn't.
He may use 10 words where 1 would suffice, and they may often obscure as much as they reveal. But on this matter, he was as clear as day. I do not doubt for one moment that he saw what he claims. Nor how difficult it must have been to speak about them.
True.
The 8th Umbral Calamity
Don't do
and
that.
your death aren't exactly topics for idle conversation. As much as I
Nope,
might want
that
to go
doesn't work.
home, I don't want to go home to that. We can't allow the rejoining to happen, which means we have to save the first from the Sin Eaters.
Oh, wait. Is it this?
That great
Aha.
wall of white is a remnant of the Flood. 100 years ago, the
Got it.
balance in the First tipped decisively in favor of light. From that moment, it rose
I'm
and
used to,
swelled with each passing
like,
day,
Twitch.
and then
command
without
still.
warning, it burst
blue.
forth like water from a broken dam. A colossal wave of pure light, drowning everything in its wake. Only Norvrant was spared.
Yeah, but
For the
Norvrant
most
is the
part,
cool place.
living things are composed of ether of various different aspects. But when exposed to such a flood, their etheric harmony is shattered, and their natural form breaks down. Then they either perish, or are warped into mindless abominations. Yes, that's how the Sin Eaters came to be. They were once living creatures, or people, that were caught in the path of the Flood. Once the change is wrought, there is no going back. In that instant, they are gripped by an insatiable appetite for ether, and will happily gorge themselves on any living thing within reach. But even that is not the worst of it. The stronger Sin Eaters can plant light in us, like seeds in soil, corrupting our ether and triggering the birth of new monstrosities. They are creatures of base instinct that exist only to feed and to multiply. They feel no pity, know no remorse, and are utterly deaf to reason, which is why they must be destroyed. Every last one of them.
Bet.
The infirmary is full of the Sin Eaters' victims, left here to spend their final hours waiting for the change to overtake them.
It's just a matter of time. More for some, less for others. Those patient will all become monsters in the end. And to add insult to injury, the afflicted are feared, shunned, cast out of society, and exiled here to the edge of the world. The only good thing I have to say about this hellish place is that it has served me well as a training ground. Teslin and the others have also been kind enough to share the knowledge of the Sin Eaters, which is knowledge I can now share with you, while you help me finish my patrol, of course. Here's what we'll do. I'll take the east side of the inn, you clear the west. That way, you can have undiluted experience with the resident terrors. These marks on your map are their usual trouble spots. You can assume that any beast with white hide or carapace is a Sin Eater, but you'll know sooner. You'll know for sure soon enough when they come slavering after you. After your ether. Remember, it's kill or be killed with these monsters. Once you've slain whatever's prowling around there, we can rendezvous back at the north entrance. Good hunting.
Thank you. Ba-doo, 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 ba-doo. He's using Tender Love. Using the TLC, Tender Love, or the learning channel, which is not learning anymore. On some days, it always takes me like a good 30 minutes to even an hour to be like mentally prepared for streams. Like, even while I am streaming. Like, there's just like a little bit extra that needs to be unlocked in my brain. It's like I can be as wide awake as I want, but there's still moments where I'm like, ugh.
Well, the personality isn't there yet.
But my weird ass is getting better at it. Do 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 do.
Sand mole.
Hola ba.
Bum 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 ba na 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 do 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 do. Wah 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 wah.
So it's what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Falcons that can be used basically in the span of one inner release. Which isn't that bad. I need to get this spot unlocked over here. And then I want this part over here done up as well. And I want to see if this... I want to say I can't because it's like further down. Yeah, no, it's going to be further over there, like near that pin. Pardon me. This weekend is FanFest. I'm so excited to see what else we get. I just hope that the next race is cool. I hope they don't mess up female profs. Though I know some people are like, I was hoping
male Viaras were a bit more rugged. I'm okay with the way they are. Although they are very K-poppy, I do think they look good. And also I like the idea, you know, big bunny girl, small bunny boy, right? But I'm hoping that the Hrothgar, one of them looks very regal, the other looks a little bit more ruggish, if that is a possibility. Like Highlander versus Midlander, basically. Like I want there to be a good difference in between the Lost and the Helions. How did you fare? I murdered 2. I thought there might be 1 or 2 lurking on the fringes. Nothing out of the ordinary for this area. I expect you noticed it yourself, but individually, these lesser signatures are no more deadly than any natural predator you might encounter in the desert. It's when they appear in numbers that they pose a threat. Much like the Void Scent, they have an unfortunate tendency to flock to the strongest of their kind. Thus, when a powerful Sin-Eater goes on the hunt, it might be attended by a veritable swarm of weaker kin. Imagine an army of such creatures descending on a village or hamlet. That's the basic idea behind my patrols. To call the ranks often enough that the numbers won't be overwhelming and the big ones come out to play. And you've certainly helped on that front. Let's support our victories to Teslin, shall we? Alize tells me you helped out on her patrol. You have our thanks, and my apologies for leading you from one battle to another ever since the moment we met. In any case, I'm glad to see the 2 of you found each other. You have no idea how badly Alize has missed you and your company. Everything is always... If Lita were here, she would... That is an exaggeration, and I don't sound like that either. I was simply trying to view matters from another perspective, and I respect Little's methods. Honestly, after seeing her in action, I can understand why. The way she leaps into the fray without hesitation, it really is something to behold. I might be a little smitten myself. The gaze. We love the gaze here. We are the gaze here. God, I love that. Alice is... I'm just picturing, like, that meme where someone just, like, their jaw drops and they cover the other person's ear and they're just gasping as they're pulling them away from, like, the area that they're in. Alice is doing that to us. I'm only teasing. Though I've no doubt she deserves all the admiration she gets, just as you do.
I got a full set of white oak gear. Actually, I don't know if I should be using it on anything. Oh, that thing, right. My healer, I guess, could benefit off that. What's my dancer wearing? Hmm. 370 versus 385. So my dancer would benefit off that. I'll probably just save it for whenever I have a healer ready.
I'd love to lay out a welcome meal, but the duties I put off when I went to the markets are still waiting for me. There are 101 things that need doing. I'm sorry, but would you mind waiting here with Alize? What? twiddle our thumbs while you're working yourself to death. Surely there's something we can help you with.
Let us help.
I could do with a hand, it's true. Thank you. You can start by helping me sort out the larder, Alice. While we do that, could you tend to a few patients, perhaps? There are 3 in particular I mean to visit. It's just a matter of saying a few words to them, seeing that the skin isn't caked in sand. The names are Parnil, Torin, and Halric. They may not give much in the way of a response, but I promise you'll be pleased to meet someone new.
Oh.
Hi, bud. How you doing?
My name is Little.
Thank you.
Oh, I need to sneeze so badly.
Torin glances up at you blankly, but you notice tension in his face eases slightly. Hi, bud. How you doing, kid? Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum. Bum, bum, bum. Halleck remains still as stone, and unaware of your presence. The texture of his skin has hardened into something akin to plaster. You've seen to the patients. How are they?
One responded, one's tension eased, and the other did nothing.
Good. That's good. I knew they would enjoy meeting you. I'm concerned about Halric, though. I'll have to speak with the other carers, but I think his time may be near. We shall leave you to discuss then, have that discussion then. I was going to take Little to Mordsuk. If you have any errands that need doing. Well, I suppose there is one thing. Would you pick up a nectarine from the market, please? Cassid's caravan just passed through, and so Ron should have some fresh fruit. Come then, Little. There's something I want you to see right after we stop at Ron's stall, of course.
Alright, I can teleport here, and I can teleport there.
Boing, 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 doing, da, doing, da, doing. Da, 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 da.
Hi, Ron.
Ron, help! Oh ho, back again are you? You need another taste of Ron's wares?
Actually, we're looking to buy a nectarine. Do you have any in stock?
Oh yes, nectarines, peaches, grapes, fresh and juicy. Given how richly you cracked your coin purse with me, I might still owe you food. Here, take this one, free of charge.
Gods, I've never seen a mod merchant give away something for nothing before. How much coin did you spend here? Oh yes, I'll take a jar of honeyed worms as well. Oh, no, they're not for me. It's an offering of sorts.
The worms, if you please. One of only the best wigglers for you. Come again, my friends.
Right then. Shopping chores are taken care of. Let's head up past the Aetheryte to the main tower. The view I want to show you can only be seen from its very top.
My boys have a stick up their ass.
Nectarin. Wait, can I not? Oh, I can't organize those. That's right. I'm at 200. Oh, I need to go get my book on this character for the week. So I can use it on Paladin. Here are your precious worms that buys us a trip to the top of the tower, does it not?
Praised Wigglers, you actually brought them. I really shouldn't let you, but just this once, alright? Only once.
Never fails, shall we?
Look, over there, where the wall is broken. Do you see what lies beyond? That's what the land became after the light flooded in. An empty white nothingness. Life cannot exist in such conditions. The primordial light would wreak havoc on the body's etheric balance. That nectarine you bought. It's Halric's favorite fruit. Most of the patients, Halric included, survived the attacks of powerful eaters. But their fate was sealed all the same. The monster's corruption has entered their bodies, and their very essence is being subsumed by light. The twisted state of the world itself just makes matters worse. Under normal circumstances, a person's ether naturally tends to equilibrium. But for these poor souls, the opposite is true. Sooner or later, every single one of them will turn. Tesleen and the patients, they all know this. They know what has to be done before the change goes too far, before the eater within takes over. The preferred method is mixing poison into their favorite food. In my time here, I've borne witness to a lot of last meals. I feel just as helpless as before. No matter how hard I fight, it's never enough.
You're doing good, though.
But it's a war I mean to wage, nonetheless. Speaking of wars, do you remember how I made you promise not to leave me and then promptly collapsed? Well, let's just say I had a few choice words for the Exarch concerning the timing of his summons. But even if the fault lay with someone else, I couldn't shake the feeling that I'd abandon you on the battlefield. So I swore that I'd make up for my absence there by making a difference here. And that's what keeps me moving forward, even when things seem hopeless. On which note, it's time we headed back. The longer we keep Tesleen waiting, the harder this will be for her.
You got it.
Dun, 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 dun. I'm glad I was able to show you that. When it comes to understanding the catastrophe which befell the first, one glimpse at the empty wasteland beyond the wall is worth more than an hour of Urihange's lecturing.
I or put something on charge. There we go.
And I needed you to know that, beyond a doubt, that Tesleen has no other choice. That nectarine will be a kindness. It isn't just a threat posed to others. When a person becomes an eater, the pain appears to be excruciating. Vampires are truly fond of their wards, and would spare them that suffering. It was a way of fighting back against a fate worse than death.
I just want to grab the... I mean, I'm going to have to teleport here again later. So, might as well just do it later on.
You back? I hope you had a nice time. Did you manage to find a nectarine? Thank you. Alize explained why I wanted this, has she? I can see it in your eyes. We may not need it just yet. I spoke with the others and we decided to keep an eye on Halric for now. Thanks to you, though. If his time does come suddenly, we'll be ready to send him on his way with a taste of happier days. Well, nothing's gonna happen for a little while yet, so let's see if we can lighten the mood. We don't want our gloomy faces worrying the patients. I think it's time we welcome, for that welcome meal, don't you? Take a seat, and I'll make us a nice stew.
Sin Eater stew. Puzzling.
Speak up if you'd like another helping. I made a little bit more than usual today.
And
Yes,
you've added
please.
something special to the broth, if I'm not mistaken.
Aye, well, it's not often we have visitors from the Crystarium, so I may have thrown in a few extra bits and bobs.
Extra bits and bobs.
You needn't have gone to the trouble then.
Oh, it's nothing, really. And we do so rarely have guests. In a place like this, you learn to take what moments of happiness you can get.
Well, that
I
second
remember
bowl
when
now,
I first came here
please.
with my mother. She was showing the early signs. I knew there was no way to save her, but I just couldn't face what needed to be done. That's the way of it for most people. Why they travel from arms to stay here. Beaten, broken souls come to wait out the inevitable, to receive the mercy of a painless death. When my mother finally left this world, I was mad with grief, but also thankful that her passing was a peaceful one. It's never easy, ending a life you've cared for, even when you believe they go on to a better place. I often find myself wishing the Warrior of Darkness would come and do that part for me.
The Warrior of Darkness?
You've never heard the tale? I'm not sure where it began, but every child in Norvrant could tell you a version of it. Warrior of Darkness, servant of death, take care of our souls at our dying breath. Let sinners and eaters of sin go with thee, that all may return to the sunless sea. Well, that's the version I was taught anyway. It's just an old bedtime story. He's certainly never deigned to visit us here.
Which is a good thing, surely. He sounds rather ominous.
Do you think so? I always liked the idea that he treated every soul the same, even the Sin Eaters.
They're coming.
Desleen! Have you seen Halric? I swear, I only took my eyes off him for a moment.
It's Alize. We have to go look for Halric. I don't know what's gotten into him, but if he's wandering out there alone, we'll assign search areas and split up. Any idea where he might be headed? No, he's never done anything like this before. Can't be a coincidence that the other patients are suddenly so agitated. They can sense something. In any case, let's keep the search close to the inn. Halric isn't very sure on his feet. He won't have gotten far. I'll search the east side. Please, Halric. Please be alright. I'll cover the north and west, then you can take everything from here to south. I see no sign of Halric. Maybe he went further west. Scan your surroundings and search for Halric. Suddenly find yourself under attack. Bum, ba-da, ba, 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 da, 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 da. Okay. No, don't perceive me, ancient lizard. You were watching 2 streams at once, right? Oh god.
Any sign of him?
Nope.
No luck then. But he surely can't have gone far.
I can't picture like 2
We should keep
voices
looking.
going on at the
The
same
Sin Eaters are
time.
out in force, and if we don't find him soon, you can be sure they will.
Wait, I don't know shimmer that was just Pokemon stuff. Oh.
Did you see the size of that thing? It must be one of the nasty ones. Wherever it's going, it can only mean trouble. After it!
Dun, dun, dun.
There it is! Is that... Oh no! Halric! We have to run! Tesleen! No!
We all deserve happiness, wherever we can find it. The time left to you is precious. No one should die in pain. Mother, I...
For the method transformation.
No, 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 no!
Forgive me, Alice.
Let's go. Let's hope it's the right one. Bam. I mean, you can build an army of just fake shinies. Sorry, little. I tried to tell the carers what happened, but I can't be the shoulder they lean on. Not like this. Oh. It's so unfair. Tesleen was always so cheery with the patients, telling them not to be scared, that there wouldn't be any pain. Of all the people in the world to suffer such a fate. I imagine you're just as shocked as the rest of us. So I appreciate what you're doing here. Me, I can barely... I don't have words. Without a body, we can't give her proper burial. And she cared about that sort of thing. Giving people the chance to say their goodbyes.
buys. Halric is unresponsive as ever. He stands motionless, staring up at the sky, where the Sin Eaters made their escape. I've spoken with the carers. Thank you, but you're doing it. It means a lot to them. To me. Sorry to interrupt, we realized we hadn't thanked you for rescuing Halric. You weren't hurt at all, were you? But it wasn't even a fight. We're too late. Too slow. I thought I could protect you. You can't blame yourself for things beyond your control. You brought Halric back safe and sound. No one could have done any better. No one could have done any more. I'm sorry, but I've come to a decision. I won't be continuing my role here. I hope you'll forgive me for leaving you, and that you will delay Halric's last meal for as long as you possibly can. Not until it's too late, of course. Just give him what time you can. We always do. Of course, she would have done the same. Farewell, Halric. Keep Teslene's words close to your heart. Wait, you're leaving this very moment. I understand how you must feel, but surely isn't this a bit hasty? Do we even have anywhere to go? I have a destination in mind, yes. And a purpose. This damned light building without cease. It's the reason we can't save those corrupted by the Eaters. What if it was corrected? What if we corrected the balance? Even if it were only little by little, even if it took years, it would surely make things better. Now hold on there. Everyone knows there's too much light, but how could you ever hope to get rid of it? You'd have to change the whole world. That's right. We should return to the Crystarium. I may not have the ability to repel Eaters on my own, but I can still use the skills I have gained here to hurt them. Yes, ma'am.
Alright, so we go to Mordsuk, we unlock the pitch, and then we go up here. To, do what we need. There's no blue quest that I'm missing. There are 2 bonus. Tolba number 1. Bloody simple. Boing. The Fields of Amber are all unlocked. So now we go to Sarshal. Sarsharl, my bad. Boing, 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 boing. Boing, boing. Hello, Gigantatenda. Look at her, she's so cute. I like that top you're wearing. It looks good on you. Forgive me, little. I couldn't stay there a moment longer. But I was serious about what I said. While the men and women at the inn battled against this blight with kindness, I must fight it in my own way, with steel. From Eorzea's sword in the darkness to Norvrand's sword in the light. Gods above, it feels like an age ago now. Miss Alize, is there something I can get you? The swiftest armoro. I need to return to the Crystarium immediately. As you wish. Thank you, Cassid. Remind me to wear goggles if we ever fly over Amarang again. Barely gotten the sand out of my eyes. But the wind did help to clear my head, at least. I think I'm ready to meet with the Exarch. We need to talk about how we're going to wipe the Sinitas out, shall we? Warrior. Oh, Reaper. You have business with the Crystal Exarch. Just say the word, and I would be happy to escort you to the Ocular. Yes. Thank you for seeking me out, little. It meant a lot to have you there at my side, and looking at Alfino, I'd say he's eager to begin this discussion as I am. I say we lay our experiences before the Exarch and step back to see what kind of picture they make. Then we can decide where to go from here. Light Wardens.
And so you return. Have you gained a better understanding of the crisis now faced by the First?
Better is not the word I would use. Some lands may have been spared the flood, but the survivors live only to suffer. There seems no end to the horrors inflicted by the Sin Eaters.
Indeed. Those abominations are a calamity in their own right. And I can well imagine how hopeless the task of eradicating them must seem to you. But after countless battles and untold sacrifice, we have identified a potential weakness.
Oh?
Sin Eaters are drawn to serve the strongest of their kind, a class of creature we call Light Wardens. And from what we have been able to ascertain, only a handful of these entities exist. Just as an ant colony will perish in the absence of its queen, we believe that the death of a Light Warden will cause the lesser creatures within its sphere of influence to disperse.
I have a feeling Yulmul might have something to say about any concerted action we take against these monsters.
Yep.
Vorthra's command over the Sin Eaters is integral to Yulmoran society. In seeming to guarantee his people's safety, it guarantees their obedience. He will not take kindly to us depriving him of such useful allies.
Oh, I know.
Agreed. Thus we will need to occupy or otherwise divert his forces whilst we proceed with the business of eliminating the Wardens. Until we have done so, all other considerations must be set aside if we are to forestall the 8th Umbral Calamity.
You're sure eliminating the Wardens will be enough?
Your uncertainty is understandable given the circumstances. Perhaps a more detailed explanation is in order. To begin at the beginning, then. In the ancient past, a single star was divided into 14 worlds. This is the source, your home. These others are the 13 shards, in whose number we find the first. Though physically separate, they retain a connection to each other, and with the source especially. Now, let us assume that a given element in one of the shards attains abnormal ascendancy. Just as water will flow from the highest point to the lowest, the excess energy will begin trickling into the source. And such an influx of ether will of course exert a palpable influence. If the element in question were fire, then drought and wildfires might ensue. If it were ice, one might expect the weather to turn bitterly cold. As ether continues to pour in, such phenomena will become more and more extreme, until eventually, a single, untimely event triggers a disaster which cracks the barrier dividing the two worlds. What was once a trickle now becomes a deluge, sweeping the shard along to be rejoined with the source. At the same time, the element which held sway in the shard is unleashed in full, its energies amplifying the original disaster to truly catastrophic proportions. An earthquake thus magnified might strike with enough force to shatter continents. A tidal wave might swell to a size capable of drowning entire nations. These devastating events are what we refer to as umbral calamities. 7 times has a calamity befallen the source. 7 times has a shard been absorbed.
That's number 3. Here's number 4. Number 5. 6. 7.
At present, the light-drowned realm of the First stands perilously close to meeting the conditions for a rejoining. It is the Sin Eaters who are to blame for the Light's continued dominance. In addition to attracting their lesser kin, the Light Wardens I mentioned earlier radiate ether, saturating every corner of their territory with light. Even here in the flood-spared region of Norvrant, their influence is strong enough to banish night from the sky. Thus, if we are to restore balance to the First and head off a potential calamity, it is imperative that we'd put each and every Light Warden to the sword.
We've been doing our best to take the fight to the enemy ever since we first heard the Exarch's explanation.
Though we have yet to claim any meaningful victories if truth be told. Apart from being confoundingly elusive, the Light Wardens possess a troublesome quality which compelled us to delay our plans until such time as you arrived.
Forgive the interruption, my lord, but Hallminster Switch is requesting reinforcements. They say the Sin Eaters are attacking in force, and the village could soon be overrun.
Alert the guard. We should be prepared in case the fighting reaches the Crystarium. You have command of our forces in the field, Captain, but hold off on entering the town until I arrive. That goes for Alphino and Alize as well.
My lord.
Pray, lend us your strength. Such a fight will provide you with far greater insight than any explanation I could offer.
Hallminster Switch is in the north of Lakeland, so we best make haste with our preparations. In fact, meet me outside the Crystarium at the crossroads northwest of the Akensa Gate. I shall lead you there myself. Oh, we're going to purple. We're going to the purple zone. Let's go.
Hello, Claire. How are you doing today, my friend? Is Pally? Oh yeah, I can see the symbol right there. Oh, that sword though. Animals. That looks good. Oh, you got that one on.
I shall give a bow.
Carry on, citizen. Yes. Understood. Purple. Soon I shall have this in one of my thumbnails. I just don't know when the time shall arise. 200 yalms to the west. Amaran. Vertica. There it is. Boing, boing, boing. I'm stepping on air. Aw, I was close. Close to getting that. Da, 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 da. But sorry, big violet tuft brute. Violet Triffid. Where is Violet? Oh. All set. If we follow this road north, we will arrive at the northern staging point. The village itself lies not far beyond. Quickly now. Yes, sir. We're gonna go and get the Fort Job crystal. $172 north.
Do hope you're doing all good, Claire.
That's the northwest. You finally got a poltergeist outbreak. Let's go! Hopefully you get a good shiny from it, like a usable one, a real one. There we go. That's the word.
$784 west.
I can't wait to go to the Great Woods. I love it in there for some reason. It's not my favorite spot in all of Shadowbringers, but it's a big contender.
The crystal tower touched the light blighted sky. Oh,
A Claire.
Warminster Switch is past these gates and through the woods. 'Tis not exactly a near neighbor to the Crystarium, but as we occupy the same region, we've built up something of a cooperative relationship. What can we expect inside, Captain? The town is beset. I can read. The town is beset by a swarm unlike any we have seen in recent years. We did our best to evacuate the villages. As many as half remain. Judging by the numbers of eaters present, we have good reason to believe that the Light Warden leads the attack. How convenient. It seems we'll have our chance to slay the Warden sooner than we expected. One does not simply slay a Warden. Has no one told you what happens if you defeat one of those fiends? They hold more light inside them than all of their underlings put together.
I can't really do a Lena voice, so.
It can be struck down, aye, but its essence won't dissipate like the weaker kind. Vile ether will billow outwards and envelop the nearest living being. A reckless young swordswoman, perhaps. And turn her into a brand new Warden.
I can take it.
Ah, well. You can leave that particular quandary to us. I ask that the guard stand down and allow us to engage this leader of eaters alone. Concentrate on the survivors. We must save every life we can.
Oh wait, I think I have a voice I could do for. Let me just try for a second. No, okay, can't do it yet. I was thinking, I'm like, ooh, there's one that I want to practice, but I'll have to try it constantly off stream. I want to try and get down Cosmo's voice from Guardians 3. But I can barely do the yes, Captain part, and that's it for her. But what if... Understood, my lord. As captain of the guard, however, I will not watch you brave such dangers without an escort of our ranks. Slovak is hard. It really is. I insist that I go with you. Very well. And our warden slaying party shall include myself, the Leviers, Captain Leader, and last but not least... A formidable group indeed. Into Holminster we go. Once we reach the Light Warden. Do not hold back. We strike to kill. Instant group dungeon encounters, subsequent NPCs. Yes. That I don't need to know because I'm not doing instance.
Nice fit you got there, Flynn.
No! 370? What do I not have? No, it's my rings and shit. Oh, where can I get 370s? I might just have to go buy them off the market, if anything. True. Which is the fastest? You know? What's funny is, my entire time running through Drowned City of Scala, I not once got a single tank piece of jewelry. Other than... this. That was literally the only thing. I mean, I guess the burn, honestly, might be one of the fastest, but it also really depends on a few things, I guess. What's my item average right now? 357, and I need 370. Gonna say the burn? Okay. Okay, we'll do the burn. And hope. Do 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 do. I'm useful as always in these. Rock. Ba ba ba. Do 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 do. Whatever. Need. All right. 5 points up. Let's go. Healer. Okay, so right. Archer's Rogue, Bard, Dancer. So ranged. Alright. Even then, earrings would not be useful. Sad. Another ring, a necklace. Our hope. Oh. Caster stuff. Hello, Phoenix. How you doing, bud? And I get a very, like, Gen 4 vibe off the music here. Healer necklace again. Do 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 do. Damn. Oh, that's right. That happens. I honestly forgot that it just freezes you the moment you get hit. Oh wow, pants. I'm gonna run to it either way just to see. It's definitely not worth probably buying unless they're like 5k max. Got one upgrade, yeah. Necklace. Don't care. 65, 40, 7, 19. What's the rings looking like? 27, 99, not worth at all. Yeah, those aren't worth getting. Do we just run it one more time and hope? Okay. Damn, no adventure plate? Really? I have not, because the queue times were god-awful. $30 for any single one, plus the other raids. I just kind of skipped on them for now. I wanted to do them, but like it was just so horrible. I'm gonna grab a single necklace. Which one was it? This one? 7? There. I can do it. It was literally just one piece of gear that I could find. So, I don't mind paying 7 for doing the dungeon. I know for probably a fact this one will be, like, these raids will be... Oh. That's fine. Ignore that. That's on my end. Don't worry. Doing the Eden stuff will be a lot easier because I actually can get into those queues at times. But I can never get an Omega queue at this point. Omega and That's really it. I guess technically Bahamut mining coil stuff, but if it be true, which probably will be the case. Oh man, my thing didn't update. I forgot to fix it. Adventure play. Adventure play. Let's go. And then I let her fight the zombie. Oh. I tried hitting that one for stun. Messed up just a little bit. Ba 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 dun 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 do 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 ba 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 da ba 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 da ba ba shadow ba 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 do 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 I thought that's where it did its little rush away. I like how I went from the beginning of this entire thing being like, I'm terrified to tank again, to I really love tanking. At least I like tanking on Warrior, and Paladin isn't bad. I have not really touched the other two in some time. Pass on that. That's worse than my turn. Oh, I got my, not my inferior, but I have my, well, yeah, I do have my inferior. Hey, bud, get over here. Can I hit the right buttons, please? Thank you. Oh, the baby girl. Oh, I don't have the one for FFxiv yet. Ah. Look at that one. Honestly, I thought that one was a little earlier. But it actually kind of makes sense that that's what I would get. Because, you know, at least 2 things per X pack. Right? But it makes my AoEs a hell of a lot stronger. See how that feels. Using a shiny poltergeist. I mean, that makes sense. It's like, gotta use this one to make those ones. Make sure those ones are right. Ooh, but that is a nice top, honestly. But I am going to pass for now. Ring of Healing. So many freaking buffs going on up top there. Holy crap. Let's grab them all this time. If they release. I don't think they will, actually. I think it's one at a time, right? Did you get another fake? Yeah, at this point, kill them. Just do what I do with the stupid ducks. Kill them. Take his head off. I mean, you can just have an entire team of fake shinies at that point, if you really want to. Like how the same thing's gonna go on when you have to go for all the shiny poltergeists. Or the Sinisty. Oh. Alright. I thought it was gonna look a little bit cooler. Oh, but never mind.
Light Warden, Philia.
Getting chained. You lost the odds 6 times. You really have. I think that it's 1% chance, but still. I mean, if you think about it, eventually you'll run into 100 of them, and one of those has to be shiny. The issue is you have to go for 2. You need that 1% chance to fight, which I think will be the bigger sad.
Oh, look at that. Look at that guy. He looks... Ew.
Freaking Maharaga out here. Oh, the Lakeland Greatsword. Oh yeah, the fact that there's no mark at all does suck. That's what you got yesterday, isn't it? That is a fire longsword. Oh, his nails are purple too.
It's releasing its ether. Fall back. We cannot let it touch us. Quickly, my lord, we must withdraw.
Well, wait a second, Lena.
That will not be necessary, Captain.
Pardon me.
Though I appreciate your concern. The eternal light of these creatures has confounded us for nigh on 100 years. For each we have put down, another has risen up in its place, born of the self-same ether relinquished by its predecessor.
Predecessor.
But now we have a way to contain that corruption. The blessing of light, and the hero who wields it now stands before you. Behold! The monster's power is broken, and the world, twisted by its touch, returns to its rightful form.
Scar. It can't be.
What's happening?
It's so beautiful.
The sunless sea. The warrior of darkness has come.
Is that what I think it is?
The night sky. As it should be.
Who are you people? You killed a warden, then bathed in its ether as if it were a spring shower, and now the sky? The legends are true.
Your team is just the phony shinies. Your phony shinies versus my ducks. Let's go.
My lord?
How many years have I waited for this moment? For the one possessed of her blessing.
For you.
For you. You have vanquished the Light Warden of Lakeland, and for the first time in a century, darkness has returned to the mantle of night. Without the ever-present light to sustain them, the Sin Eaters will have no choice but to retreat. Yet our victory is far from complete. Though darkness has fallen here, the other wardens yet bask beneath burning skies, feasting upon what little life remains. Even should it cost me all I have, I would see each and every one of them slain, that this world might be spared from oblivion. Not only for the first, but for the source as well. Save one, and we save the other. But, be that as it may, I concede it was wrong of me to summon you to this fight against your will. I swear, on my life, I will one day atone for that deed, but for the present, I beg you stay and see this fight to its conclusion. Cast down the Wardens and restore darkness to the First.
I will become the warrior you need. Sounds like a glorious adventure. Nah, I'll become the warrior you need. Hi, Ardbert.
On behalf of the First, I offer you my deepest thanks.
I understand there is much at stake here, Exarch, but why do you risk yourself so readily? It must have been a dangerous drain on your ether to summon even one person across the rift.
I do it for my people, of course. To give the Crystarium the tomorrow it deserves.
That is true now, yes, but the city had yet to be built when you first called forth the Crystal Tower. I'm simply curious to know what prompted you to commit yourself so completely to this particular course.
There are things which we can ill afford to lose. And I sensed from the first that I had a part to play in preserving them. Forgive me. I fear the events of the day may have taken their toll. Despite appearances, I am an old man. One burdened with many difficult memories, some too painful to recall.
Well then, I'm sorry for pressing you. It's a family failing, I'm afraid.
One which has served us well more often than not. Needless to say, we will continue to fight at your side until the last Sin-Eater is defeated.
Come then, my warriors of darkness. Let us gather the surviving villagers and make our way back to the Crystarium.
All right. I'm gonna quickly do the reset because we are very much. Actually, you know what? Yeah, no. Let me just do it now. Screw it. Because that 2-hour marker is coming in quick, and I don't want it to happen while I'm in a cutscene. Da, 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 da. Do 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 do. Dun, 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 dun. Da, 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 da. Hope everyone is having a good day, by the way. You know, while I'm loading in as well, I'm gonna be AFK because nature. Am I right? Right. BRB. Oh, that's a pretty loading screen. Oh. Alright. Sorry, just responding to something. There we go. Thought I should respond to some messages. Look at the Claire. It's a big ass sword. Which sword is that again? Sharpened guillotine of the tyrant. That's really cool looking. I think. Two steps from Final Heavensward Relic. Ah, I do love the Final Heavensward Relic for the Dirk. How quickly you have justified my faith in you. So many lives saved. And the sky itself heralds your success. A single victory in a larger struggle. Perhaps, but a monumentous one nonetheless. Now, as for how we proceed from here. The villagers we evacuated earlier are arrived safely in the Crystarium. They seem to be accepting the situation for the moment. Most folk are too distracted by the sky to worry about wounds or lost homes. The whispers and wonder if the warrior darkness has come. 'Tis to be expected. Little, I must ask you a favor. Would you be so kind as to conceal your involvement in this endeavor for the time being? Seeing the light receding from Lakeland is a monumentous occasion, and many will be swept up in a maelstrom of excitement and confusion. Should you come forth as a legendary warrior of darkness, I fear that, no matter how good your intentions, such an appearance would throw the city into disarray. I find myself in agreement with the Exarch, although my concerns are more focused on Yulmore. It
may be for the best if you maintain a low profile until we see how Valkyrie responds to all of this.
I agree.
My thanks. Though we cannot freely celebrate your success, pray allow your heart to be buoyed by the joy of our citizens, a joy you surely brought into being. I must ask that the same discretion of you, Captain. 'Tis my intention to share with our people the tale of the great warrior who stood in defiance of the Sin Eaters, this unnamed champion who defeated the Light Warden, and has since departed for parts unknown, yes? As you wish, my lord. Your penchant for mystery is nothing new, and I will encourage folk not to question this either. Although I expect to be told the truth of it one day, about all of you.
You will.
With that settled, I shall return to the Crystarium and make an address to the people. These explanations and adjustments will consume much of my time, so pray take the opportunity to rest and recover from your exploits, and to think you'll not even need to shutter. You need to shutter the window and enjoy the dark, peaceful sky. It's night's sleep.
I wish I was part Crystal.
I must stay behind and coordinate the evacuation of the remaining survivors. And I hesitate to ask, after all you've done here today, but could I ask you to pass on a message on your way to the Pendants? Please let Braggy know that we're bringing in a number of injured, and that any restorative in the markets need to be reserved for the infirmary.
Got it. Got it. BBG.
Should we start making our own way back to the Crystarium slowly in mind you, it wouldn't do to arrive too soon after the Exarch. I'm staying behind as well. There's something I need to check on in Holminster. The road went through the village, top to bottom. Alize, we should all take the chance to rest, you included. I knew one of those Sin Eaters, and I can't rest. Not now. So please, I wish to be left alone for a while, and that means you as well, little. I shall be cross if you try to follow me. I promise to find you later when I feel myself again. Let's you and me then, shall we?
These are item level 400. These are... It's 385. So I will be getting an axe upgrade soon. In 3 quests? Ba 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 ba. Do 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 do. Bum 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 bum. If at all possible, I want to make my way to Ilmeg today. They have the axe. The best axe. I mean, maybe one of my favorites. I don't know if I would say the best, but absolutely one of the coolest ones ever. Well, the Crystarium seems relatively ordered. Wouldn't you say? Yaxok's speech must have been reassuring to hear. Level times 3 is when you get equal or better than the previous expansion. Oh, okay, so 73 is when I'll get the best one. Alright, or the next best. So, I am here for a while still, I guess. Oh, that felt good. On the contrary, there is something jubilant in the air. I have a feeling this night won't be quite as peaceful as our hooded friend predicted. I think I shall take a brief stroll around town before retiring to my chambers. Once you've discharged your duty to Bragi, I suggest you do the same. Sleep a little, I hope untroubled dreams find you and Alice both. Braggy. Oh, it's a blacksmith top, but it's so nice. Hi. What can I do for you? Looking to buy a lantern like every other stumbling soul in the city? I see. Well, Captain Lena can rest assured that any potions I spot coming in will be best set aside for the wounded. Hang on a moment. You're carrying a message for the guard. Does that mean you were there when the battle at Holminster? The stalwart lass like you might want to pay a visit to the Wandering Stairs. Make yourself known. I'm sure Glenard can introduce you to some interesting opportunities. There will be a day, once we hit 79 to 80, where we will do all of our role quests. So that's 20, 40, 61 quests from now, basically. Because I feel like I'll be around a decent enough level for 4, at least, maybe 5 quests. Cilia, more beer for table 2, and a couple of pints of mead for table 3 while you're at it.
Coming right up.
Sorry, we're rushed off our feet today, miss. Can I get you anything? Drinks are on the house.
Oh, healer roll quest the best one? Ooh, noted.
Oh, that brag is a twisted sense of humor. To think he'd send you to me at a time like this. The first real night in near 100 years has folks riled up then, and then some. What's more, there was that ether business at Holminster Switch. They say a light warden was destroyed without a damn trace, and that was a warrior of darkness who did the deed.
Which is the weakest one, you would say, for the role quests for this one?
I really must apologize. Bernard, but, he's been almost as rowdy as our customers, and that's no small feat.
Valid.
A lot of our regulars are bounty hunters, you see. They mostly go after eaters, and the rumor of the warrior's appearance, well, was the spark of their kindling.
Physical DPS. Actually, don't remember the physical DPS one all too much, so. I did the healer, I believe. The last time I played through Shadowbringer. But I vaguely remember it.
You know,
how the weak eaters are drawn to the strong ones, right?
In order of worst to best, I'm a physical DPS, tank, caster, healer. Interesting.
Aye, they swarm like angry bees around a queen. You need to look no further than Holminster for that proof. But attacks on that scale don't happen every day. Praise bless the shadow. No, the more common threats are the strays. No one knows why, but every now and again, I need to relieve the pack to prowl alone. Those are the ones you run into on the road if your luck is foul. They're a danger to everyone, so the settlement council puts bounties on their head. And our bar here is a convenient place for hunters to gather to share information.
seems that few of them were inspired by the warden slaying, even more than most. These are the types who have their sights set on the absolute worst of the strays, and a class of eaters that have dubbed the cardinal virtues. The virtues showed up out of nowhere about 3 summers ago, and when historians heard the descriptions given by survivors, well, apparently they shared appearances for the villains who caused the flood. And if that doesn't send a chill down your spine, they also reported to be as tough as light wardens. Not the kind of prey you can take down in a single-handed. Our virtue hunters have had all but given up, but knowing that the Warrior Darkness is out there has lit a fire in their bellies. Just look at them.
Melee DPS, magical DPS, healer, tank, range. I did love the tank one. I haven't done a range DPS one yet. I've done a melee, I've done a magical, I've done healer, and I've done tank. So I would more or less agree with them. But so far the tank is my favorite one. But eventually when I get Dancer up to 90, I will run that.
That tomb over there, with the oversized sword, is Garrison. He's in it for revenge.
That is a special cameo which solidified it as... Ooh, fair.
Wants to recruit a comrade in arms as tenacious as he is. That Mr. Lad is Lou Rec. Don't be fooled by those dewy cheeks. He's as hard a hunter as they come. Just lost a partner and seems to be on the lookout for a new one. That's Krieg. The word is he's an expert in magecraft to help the virtue fighters he's after. The virtue he's after.
Look at him.
Last we have Giat. Dwarf and drunkard both. Wanted to join forces with a healer. And a healer only. Something about needing a mender's wisdom. I've seen my share of competent veterans, and you have the look about you. Maybe you should introduce yourself to one of our hunters. Who knows? Together, you might even collect a bounty on a cardinal virtue.
A dwarf and a drunkard aren't the same thing? As my experience of being a former Lala, yes, absolutely. Considering I would always call them a dwarf, usually.
Now there's an idea. There's a grand idea. Imagine the prestige my bar would have earned if we boasted the patronage of a successful virtue hunter.
You've gained access to the role quest. A separate quest line and story is now acceptable for tank, physical DPS, magical range DPS, and healer roles. In order to reach the final stage of Shadowbringer main scenario, you must complete at least one of the role quest lines, speak with a virtue hunter at the wandering stairs, and accept a quest offer. Just make sure I wasn't missing anything. This is the name of the Dwarf King in FF4 was nice homage. Aww. Grandson is the one I go to. Got it. Boing. Pour one out for the sad boys.
A reaper.
Welcome back, miss. I wonder if anyone can sleep with the city in such an uproar. But, will you be retiring to your quarters? Very good. In light of the present situation, I had illumination prepared for all rooms. No need to rush to the markets for lanterns or candles. Have a pleasant rest, ma'am. Miss, not ma'am.
What a beautiful sight. Hello.
So it's
Albert.
your lot's turn to be the warriors of darkness, is it? It's funny how things work out.
I have a cat girl bias. Rack is a boring character, which ruins it. Valid. These are my private quarters. Been watching, have you?
Well, I did warn you. I followed you to Yulmore and then on to Armarang. And I was there when you slew the Light Warden. Those white-haired twins who were with you. I remember them from our battle in Source. Are they your friends then? Through thick and thin? Aye. Then I suggest you keep them close. It's when you charge ahead trying to save someone else that you end up losing those you love.
Give a stalker. No, I'm not talking
A lot
about
you
me.
need telling, I'll bet you've lost plenty. But I wonder,
No, you're not a stalker. You're a...
what will it cost you this time?
resourceful
I don't remember when it was that I learned regret wasn't worth the bother. You get numb to it all over the years. The lost comrades, the broken promises, the abandoned principles.
And Albert's not a stalker, he's
Just
a secret
more nagging
admirer.
burdens to ignore.
A not so secret admirer.
It's a baby.
So this is what the light was hiding.
It's the baby.
A doctor.
She's here. I must go to her.
It's Eorzea. Blonde hair again.
Meanwhile, inside an Imperial Magitech facility in the Source.
Sing.
Intruders! Fan out and find them!
Out of my way!
Stay your weapon. We are not your enemy.
Oh wait, is this the instance?
When the alarm sounded, I wondered what we had done to betray our presence. But I see now we are not the only intruders.
He's the Dragoon.
Sir Estinian, I presume. The Dragoon who plucked the Warrior of Light from the jaws of death.
Now.
Your armor is most distinct.
Much as yours once was. But even without it, I see a former legator still has eyes and ears in unexpected places. Van Baelsar, in the flesh. Though I understand you prefer Shadow Hunter.
You are in contact with the Scions, I take it.
They are preoccupied.
Through no choice of my own. They tracked me down and conscripted me to their cause. I swear their receptionist was trained as a spy. Not that anyone can escape that Baldessian woman once she has caught the scent of Eorzea.
If they have resorted to using freelancers, I must assume their attempts to wake the afflicted have failed. And what of their champion?
Away on other business. Thus, it has fallen to me to root out any trace of the Empire's new weapon.
Lalas are evil, yep.
If it is Black Rose you seek, you are too late. My people have already completed your mission here. Yet this is but one factory among many. When they caught wind of our efforts, they built additional facilities to ensure production continues unabated. There will be no one left in the lands they conquer. No citizens to conscript. No skills to exploit. Nothing the Empire needs. And they will call it victory.
What exactly does this Black Rose do?
I like how
the gas is
blue-haired
described
witch
as a
is like,
poison,
asshole.
but its actual effect is more arcane in nature. It was created to disrupt the ether in living beings, to bring the flow of their life energies to a standstill. Inhaling even the tiniest amount will cause all bodily functions to cease, much as a potent venom will stop a man's heart. Released over a city, Black Rose could conceivably kill every inhabitant, and all without damaging a single structure.
Search every corner! Rouse the barracks if you have to! I want this facility secured!
I have more questions, but now is not the time.
Sir Estinian, I have an offer for you, but I will make it only once. Since it would seem we seek the same answers, you are welcome to join us.
Ha! From what I hear, you need all the help you can get. In case you don't know, Varys himself confessed that your empire was a creation of the Ascians.
I am aware of what his Radiance said at the parley. Thus I would return to the capital, that I might behold the truth of this corruption with my own eyes. My path leads to Garlemald.
Just two badasses talking about, you know, how shitty Garlemald is, basically. Between two worlds.
Lander.
Yeah, my armor's.
Begging your pardon, miss. Beg your pardons, miss.
But do you perchance intend to head outside? If so, I would strongly advise you stray not too far from the Custarium.
What has it Eulmore has dispatched its military to Lakeland? Given the timing, one can only assume they do not welcome the return of the night sky. Even now, the Exarch is in the Ocula, deliberating a response.
Got it. Boing. Gun. Noted. Probably do this as my last quest of the stream, or my first quest for my last quest of the stream. Oh, I'm gonna love being able to listen to the song again.
You have come at a good time. As you may have heard, we have something of a quandary on our hands.
Yeah, something of better sorts.
Laxon Loft, here in Lakeland. Eulmore has sent one of its airships. They have questions for us concerning the death of the Light Warden. Their emissary makes his way here even as we speak.
I suppose the sky does rather give the game away.
Indeed. 'Twas inevitable they would come knocking. The only question was how soon.
My lord, I am come with the Eulmoran emissary. May I show him in?
Eulmorian emissary.
A moment, Captain, if you would. Everyone, gather round. I do not wish to show our hand prematurely. Forgive me this liberty. Vanish.
Sneezes.
Enter.
You.
Well, well. The commander of the Eulmoran army himself. To what do I owe the honor, General Ranjit?
The Light Warden is dead, Exarch. Were your people responsible?
You are clearly in some haste, my lord. But before I address your question, you must allow me one of my own. What is Yulmore's interest in this?
Dodging the question very swiftly, I
His
see, my boy.
benevolence, Lord Vorthry, is gravely concerned that the actions of an ignorant few may jeopardize relations between man and Sin Eater. Should it transpire that the Crystarium is guilty of abetting the villains responsible for this outrage, my lord has decreed that it suffer the same retribution.
I see.
They're just all slack-jawed, like,
Since you have been so candid, I too shall speak my mind. Regardless of who is responsible, the Crystarium rejoices in the Light Warden's death and welcomes the return of the night sky. If Yulmore considers this tantamount to aiding those you term villains, then by all means, carry out your retribution. Know, however, that even should every innocent soul in the Crystarium perish, nothing can stop that which has been set in motion.
Folly. The death of one or 1,000,000 Sin Eaters changes nothing. The world is dead, and writhe as we might, like maggots in its rotting course, it will not be reborn. Only by my master's grace may we live out our days in peace.
But is that true?
But I waste my breath. You have made your stance clear. I shall relay your words to Lord Vorthry. In the
Wait, right, so tell him
meantime,
to eat an apple.
you would do well to counsel any here who have done more than merely rejoice in recent events, to throw themselves upon Yulmore's mercy, promptly. One last matter. We are searching for a young artist and his assistant. Know you of whom I speak?
An artist and his assistant, no. I cannot say I do.
What a pity. Should they reveal themselves to you, I bid you hand them over at once. My master is most eager to see them again.
He knows we're vanished. It's because we're slightly transparent, not completely, you know, gone. Should have put us behind a door as well.
Am I imagining things, or did he just stare straight at us?
I fear he did. The General is not a man to be trifled with. He is a warrior of fearsome repute who has led Yulmore's army since before Vorthry's time, when the nation still spearheaded the fight against the Sin Eaters. One does not command the world's mightiest army, and for so long, without possessing exceptional instincts.
Yeah, Xenos could take him.
If Yulmore chose to send such an individual, we must assume this talk of retribution is more than an idle threat. While we are grateful for your support, my lord, we cannot in good conscience put your people in harm's way.
'Tis noble of you to say, Master Alphino, but my people have been in harm's way since long before you arrived. Yulmore has ever yearned to rule over what remains of the world. Even should we surrender the Warrior of Darkness to them, they would find some other pretext upon which to invade. The people of the Crystarium know this only too well, which is why, when the time comes, I am certain they will fight to the last man. If truth be told, I would not have been surprised had Ranjit declared war here and now.
He may have reason to delay. According to reports, the Yulmoran forces at Laxan Loft were observed taking a prisoner. A young woman believed to be none other than the Oracle of Light, Minfilia.
Oh.
It may be that General Ranjit wishes to convey her to Yulmor before commencing hostilities. Having mentored generations of Minfilias, it would not surprise me if he had made her capture his chief concern.
Sorry, generations of Minfilias?
Ah, of course. How remiss of me. I had intended to speak to you of Minfilia. There is, however, much to say, and precious little time in which to say it. I think it best that you seek out Maren at the Cabinet of Curiosity. He'll be able to enlighten you. Alphino, Alize, would you care to accompany your friend? You doubtless have insights of your own to offer on the matter.
All right, though I'm still not sure I understand it all myself.
In the meantime, I will set about making provisions for war.
Audit. Oh, Reaper. Which scythe is that? Ah. Titan Bra. Looks cool. Yes, if you're after books pertaining to the Warrior of Darkness, I'm afraid you are most on loan at present. They are experiencing quite a surge in popularity. Oh, it's Minfilia. Oh, you wish to learn about the Oracle of Light? Then it would be my pleasure to assist. After I have finished off some few outstanding tasks, that is, while I attend to them, perhaps you could fetch me a book. The Illustrated Tale of the Oracle of the Light, it's called. Though it's intended for younger readers, it provides an excellent summary of the subject matter. And the artwork is quite lovely besides. I would not hesitate to recommend it to anyone with an interest in learning about Minfilia. But you must see for yourself. The book should be located on the level below. Should I say? Well, there's a place for everything here. Not everything is always in its place, despite my best efforts. In short, if the book is not where it should be, it's almost certainly somewhere it shouldn't. So, good luck. Book appears not to be here. Just as your eyes begin to blur, they finally come to a copy of the Illustrated Tale of the Oracle of Light. Ready. No, you can't see her properly. Sad.
if you found the book.
I'm so sorry.
Yes, this is the one. I hope it wasn't too difficult to track down. I'm happy to say I finished all my pressing tasks. If you want to call your friends over, we can begin learning at once. Alright, now that we are all here. It began 100 years ago, when the flood of light threatened to swallow Norvrand. Just as all seemed lost, a savior appeared who halted in all-consuming radiance. A maiden with hair spun gold and eyes of clearest sapphire. Naught was known about her save that her name was Minfilia, and for delivering the realm, she came to be revered as the Oracle of Light. After stopping the flood, the mysterious maiden vanished without a trace, but 15 years later her name would unexpectedly reappear in the annals of history. When Sin-Eaters laid ruin to the kingdom of Vobert, a young girl was discovered who was immune to the creature's blighted touch. One with hair spun gold and eyes of clear sapphire, she was hailed as the Oracle Reborn, and came to likewise be called Minfilia. Enlisting in the actually, one sec. I want to get a picture of that because that is beautiful. Enlisting in the Eulmorian army. I'm struggling. Enlisting in the Eulmorian army, this Minfilia fought and vanquished countless Sin-Eaters. Unlike so many other soldiers, she eventually met her end in battle. Yet, with her dying breath, she whispered unto her grieving comrades, Minfilia will return. And true to her words, some years later, another young girl was discovered who possessed the self-same eyes, that self-same hair, and those self-same powers. She took the name Minfilia. She too fought Sin-Eaters as soldiers of Eulmor, and she too fell in battle. Many more were to follow in her footsteps, and so the saga continues to this day. And thus concludes the tale. By their valor and sacrifice, these women have saved Norvrand on numerous occasions. And were it not for them, we might never have learned of the Light Wardens and their nature. They sound like formidable warriors. Some, perhaps. The truest is rather less simple. Though the Oracle is reborn with certain common traits, she does not inherit the memories or knowledge of her previous incarnation. All the Minfilias thus far were discovered as ordinary girls, unversed in the ways of war, and ignorant of the power they harbored. While some embraced their fate, others devoted themselves to training. Others did not. But all were made to face the Sin-Eaters and died to keep our hopes alive. Can you tell us of the current Minfilia? She was found by the Eulmorian army some 10 years ago, and taken into their care. Or rather, their custody. She was a prisoner in all but the name. For by that time, under Lord Varthry's rule, Eulmor had already abandoned resisting in favor of decadence. Minfilia was an uncomfortable reminder of the war they no longer wished to fight, potential threat to peace. And so they kept her under lock and key. For a long while, we had heard nothing more of her. We couldn't even be certain she was alive. Save that it was the Eomorians' best interest for her to remain under their control. But then 3 years ago, a gallant soul stole into the city and rescued her from their clutches, just like a hero from the tales. Indeed, we believe, I believe we now have a good grasp of the Minfilia's tale. Thank you for your time, Morin. Might I trouble you for a word a little, outside?
Who hurt me? Nothing did. Had a little crack in the shoulder, just had to roll it back real quick.
Well, as you will have already surmised, gallant soul who rescued Minfilia was none other than our own dear Thancred. They have since been wandering the land together, never remaining in one place for long, which is why we have not yet had a chance to meet them. We know that Minfilia journeyed here as Hydaelyn's emissary to halt the flood of light. It could only be her that people first witnessed 100 years ago. The original Oracle of Light. But while there's plainly some connection between the woman we knew and her namesake, the fact that these girls do not share her memories must surely mean they're not the same person. Thancred has to understand that. I have no doubt that he understands that. The question is how he feels. Regardless, the Thancred we know would not forsake his charge. If she has been captured, we may be certain he will not stand idly by. There you go again, talking in your roundabout ways. If you were thinking we should rescue Minfilia, just spit it out.
I was trying to look at something.
It just so happens I agree with you. It's quite clear that Minfilia possesses Hydaelyn's blessing. And it would be hard to have a second such individual. It wouldn't hurt to have such a individual at our side. Right, Little?
One's generally been enough, but fine. I love how we could just make ourselves so sassy. But I'm still very resolved and stout in my words.
Quite. I see you've made up your minds. Exarch, what brings you here? A report and a proposal. First, the report. Our scouts have confirmed that the Eomorian forces at Laxin Loft do indeed have Minfilia in their custody. For the present, they are holding her there, but we can be certain they will move her to Yumel ere long. Should that happen, we may be forced to give her up as lost. So if we mean to act, we should do so quickly. Which brings me to my proposal. I ask that you entrust this undertaking to us, the people of the Crystarium.
I'm sorry?
You are doubtless eager to attempt Minfilia's rescue, and with your combined strength you may well succeed. But as I said earlier, I do not wish to show our hand unless absolutely necessary. was not merely the night sky that you restored to us, but hope. Hope for the future of Norvrand. Unlike you, we cannot contend with the Light Wardens, but so long as hope burns in our hearts, we will fight on regardless. This I will prove to you. My friends, I thank you for gathering at such short notice. There is something I would ask you all. As many of you are aware, I received an emissary from Yulmore a short while ago in the form of General Ranjit. To my dismay, the General condemned the slaying of the Light Warden, and warned me in no uncertain terms that, should the Crystarium cast its lot with the Warrior of Darkness, there would be war. Let none be mistaken. We would be hard-pressed indeed to resist the might of Yulmore. Some would even call it suicide.
Others would call it adventure. I am others.
And yet my heart cries out to fight. Better that than relinquish the hope that swelled in my breast when I beheld the night sky for the first time in 100 years.
That's fair. My boy. Love him.
Or so says my heart. My mind, meanwhile, reminds me that to follow my heart would be to risk everything we have accomplished thus far.
What's risk
Clearly,
without reward?
This is not a decision to be made lightly, nor less alone.
No reward without risk.
And so I put the question to you all. What should we do?
Alright, I agree with them.
My lord, you already know our minds. It brought tears to our eyes to witness the knight's return. The whole of Norvrand deserves the same, and not just because some children's story tells us so.
Yulmore's influence is far-reaching. Should war break out, trade would be subject to restrictions. The flow of goods will dry up, and we will struggle to make do with what little trickles through. But make do, we will.
Aye, we can weather such hardships. Is that not the very thing the Crystarium was built for? We have always taken pride in our ability to sustain ourselves. Not just to endure, but to thrive.
When all falls down around you, rise up. Those were your words. There may come a day when all hope seems lost, but even should the rest of the world give in to despair, we shall not.
Hell yeah.
We shall fight on, that our children and our children's children might know a better tomorrow.
Rousing words apart, I never much cared for those Yulmoran bastards anyway. No better than common swindlers, most of them. Wouldn't know a fair deal if it came up and kissed them on the arse.
Trust you to spoil the moment.
It appears we have a consensus. Let it be known that the Yulmoran host at Laxon Loft has taken the Oracle of Light captive. They fear the power she holds over the Sin Eaters, and doubtless intend to imprison her once more. So, I move that we rescue the Oracle, grant her a place among us, and let that be our answer to Yulmore's ultimatum.
Eddie Spaghetti.
Here, here!
Hear, hear!
In planning a strategy for the rescue, I open the floor to you all.
And there you have it. If Yulmore wishes to denounce us as villains, then we shall embrace our villainy. Will you do so as well?
We will not be outdone. Consider us your partners in crime.
My lord, our proposal is as follows. We begin by deploying Amaro to occupy the skies over Lakeland. They should serve to delay the airship's departure. At the same time, we scatter dream powder from the air. Not all will succumb to its effects, but it should thin the enemy's numbers, affording us an opening to swoop in and liberate the Oracle.
Bet.
Very good. See to your preparations.
And what exciting crimes would you have us commit? Speaking for my fellow villains, I'd say we're capable of most things, though we draw the line at indolence.
If excitement is your desire, then I bid you join the guard. Captain Lena will give you your orders.
Yes, boss. Captain. So, you will be joining the guard, but however highly the Exarch thinks of you, you receive no special treatment from me, clear? Where's a salute, soldier? Better. More spirited than the Exarch's feeble attempts, certainly. Now, first things first, you will need uniforms. Go to the Crystalline Mean and report to Katniss. She will see you measured and fitted. Alright, this will be our last story quest for today. Then we will do a job well done. And then we, end stream. See you tomorrow. I'm a warrior. And there's the last of them. Your friends are being measured as we speak. Right this way. We'll see to it. You look your dashing best for your first outing. I just wish it didn't have the shoulder pads. Like my only dislike about it. Oh, there's our Warrior of Light. Or there's our measurements are all done. I see. How goes it? How goes it? There we go. Sorry, Lena was talking then. Sorry, Captain. I'm afraid I don't have, we don't have anything on hand that's ready to fit. But we do have a few that are fairly close. We should be able to make them work with some minor adjustments. Very well then. See to it, and have the uniforms delivered directly to the field. I shall take this opportunity to brief you on the mission. As mentioned earlier, we will be deploying Amaro to scatter dream powder from the air. Once the powder has taken effect, an elite unit will storm the fortress to rescue the Oracle herself. Oracle. The safe liberation is our sole objective. Engagement is to be avoided whenever
possible. I assume we're to be part of said unit. Correct. The unit will be divided into 2 contingents, one deployed from Fort Job, and the other from Hostile Imperative. You and Alfino will be on the former. Little, meanwhile, will join the latter with me. Before you proceed to your positions, you are to report to Chesamil at Safgirix. She will issue you with a serum to ward off the effects of the dream powder. We shall be on our way then. Take care, my friend, and we will see you in the field. It's quite fair to the Imperative, so... It's quite far to the Imperative, so... You may make use of an armor from the rookery, after you have collected the serum, of course. Yeah. Sasageo. Shinzayo wo Sasageo. Yeah, might as well just teleport over to... I thought I could jump down for a second, but... I mean, I can just go through that, but... Where's the freaking thing? Oh. The errands. Oh. Bleed for the blood lily. Boing, 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 oh, boing, 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 boing. Yeah, sweetie, is there something you need? Oh, one of the guards, come for your dream, are you? For your drum, are you? Here you go. A dose of this will keep you firmly in the waking world while your enemies are off in dreamland. Now, this is your first time. I should warn you, it's bitter as sin. Prince's Kiss, they call it, but if you ask me, it should be called Crone's Kiss. Hee hee. Jests aside, the stuff's really foul. Most people gag like there's no tomorrow. But if you don't drain every last drop, you're liable to end up taking a trip to Dreamland yourself. So, I said you drink here and now while I watch. Come on, give the old crone a kiss. Well done, sweetie. I'm proud of you. Why, if I didn't know any better, I'd say you enjoyed it. Now, you needn't fear falling asleep on the battlefield. Just have care you don't lose a limb out there, alright? They don't tend to grow back. Alright, so we go to Temeno's Rookery. And then we go to a job well done. And then we're good. Boing.
Yes. What do you require of me? An armor to take to the Imperative, eh? As much as I would like to oblige, all our amount to reserve for the coming operation. I fear you'll have to go by foot. But wait, there might be another way, assuming you are willing to lend a hand.
Level up, oh yeah. Alright. Let's go do job well done.
And then the stream is done for the day. And we return tomorrow.
With a rested soul and full bellies. Rested mind and throat especially. Hail, sinner. Might this old woman impose upon you to travel to Fort Job in her stead?
my son, Chathwick, is with the guard over there, and I have a package for him that wants delivering. I'd go myself, but my knees simply aren't up to the task. Ba 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 ba.
A package? Oh, food from Mother. Everyone would be so pleased. Her last letter mentioned how distraught she was to hear that members of the Guard had given their lives at Holminster Switch, and how touched that many more risked themselves to protect it. But of course, she would be. Our whole family is from there. After all, I expect that she wanted to express her feelings by preparing food for us. She does that. Wait a moment. You were at Holminster Switch too, weren't you? I saw you on the front lines. I knew it. I don't think I could ever forget the sight of you, facing down eater after eater without ever once flinching. It's not just me, you know. You're an inspiration to us all. Here's an idea. What if you passed out these to the rest of the Guard? I'm sure they would be awestruck.
Sure. Here where the stairs are. So we will find it. I'm like going into like my lazy, comfortable position. Which is always how I know it's time for me to absolutely eat food and rest. But we'll get there soon.
You have my thanks for this, of course, but also for the battle. I remember you well. Though we lost many, would have been many more without your aid.
Bjorn. Now, see, that's a good-looking Hrothgar, because he's not slouching. Now he is.
Oh, food, thank you. And may I just say, it's a true honor to have you here. Your bravery on the field will not be soon forgotten.
Wicked White, you're her. You were there in the middle of it all. Strong as 100 men, a bulwark against a tide of sin-eaters that threatened to overwhelm us. And now, you brought me a sandwich?
Yes, I did. And you're welcome. Ba 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 da ba da da da. Here you go.
Oh, Chathwick's mother made this. That's the best news I've heard in days. Her cooking is excellent. I was sorry that we couldn't save their home, but at least their whole family made it out alive.
Pleased, were they? I expected as much. I apologize for asking such a trifling task of you. But we lost a lot of people on the battlefield. Anything that might raise morale is well worth trying. And I thought that they admire you even half as much as I do. Well,
anyways, in any case, you have my sincerest gratitude. I saved my favorite portion, the food for you. So please, take it along with my thanks.
Aw, you're welcome, buddy. Alright, so that is the end of stream. I'm going to go get some food. I'm gonna go get my book, my weekly, and yeah. So Claire, thank you for helping me do some runs. Q, thank you for hanging out, my boy. Anyone who's been lurking or watching, thank you very much for doing so. If you are new or haven't been subbed yet and you've been watching for a while, please do like and sub, highly appreciated. And I'm gonna go have a lot of food and then get some rest. So yeah, take care, have a lovely night, and bye-bye.